Welcome into Occupy Democrats once again, and oh yes, the actual radical right is spewing its vengeance forth since the extraordinarily unfortunate assassination of Charlie Kirk. Because the right truly only knows how to play ball one way, and that is extremely hypocritical hardball. And I'm going to show that story in just a few seconds because they're attacking an American icon for something that is, of course, just absurd. Even Charlie Kirk himself knew this.
They'll try to murder me. Those chilling words from Charlie Kirk have resurfaced online just days after his shocking killing. An undated video shows Kirk warning that his political opponents could one day use violence against him. In the clip, Kirk paints what he called a dark picture of the American left. At the core of the left, at the core of a liberal, is someone that would use the sword if they had it. They are very violent people at their core. They always have been.
And the long-beloved horror icon author Stephen King actually had this happen to him.
Nice to be here again.
It's been nearly 2 damn years since you and I talked. They've been tumultuous.
The last time I was here, I had a president who had just given me a National Medal of the Arts thing, which we argued over.
Yeah.
And now we've got a president who blocked me on Twitter. Except the court says he can't block anybody. So my question is, do I really want to follow that guy? I don't think so.
And also, King has been outspoken many times about Donald Trump and his regime, Term 1 and Term 2. But let's also recall, not for assassinations, but these are the things Charlie Kirk said in his rise to popularity. This. Here's a post from the platform X. The poster shall remain anonymous. In quotes, here are some things that Charlie Kirk said in his life. The man is dead, and so it only seems fair to share his legacy by cataloging the values he spread while alive. These are statements made by Charlie Kirk. Gay people should be stoned to death. Most people are scared when they see a black pilot flying a plane. Taylor Swift should reject feminism and submit to her husband. No one should be allowed to retire. Leftists should not be allowed to move to red states. British colonism was what made the world decent. The guy who assaulted the Pelosi's should be bailed out. Religious freedom should be terminated. Multiple black politicians, in quotes, stole white people's spots. MLK Jr. was an awful person. The great replacement theory is reality. Hydroxychloroquine cures COVID. Vaccine requirements are medical apartheid. Gun deaths are acceptable in order to have a Second Amendment. Women's natural place is under their husband's control. Parents should prevent their daughters from taking birth control. George Floyd had it coming. The Jan 6 protesters didn't. The 1964 Civil Rights Act was a huge mistake. Encouraged parents to protest mask mandates. Mandami winning in New York is a travesty because Muslims did 9/11. Muslims only come to America to destabilize Western civilization. Palestine, in quotes, doesn't exist, and those who support it are like the KKK. But in ridiculous shallow comparison to that, in this breaking story, there's no question that a GOP senator would lose their mind and go after Stephen King for a very simple comment post the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And this is the absurdity of the radical right. Here is the breaking story. Breaking news, in quotes. Stephen King is a bitter man. Horror icon Stephen King is being threatened with a lawsuit after a comment made about the late commentator Charlie Kirk. Kirk was assassinated while doing a debate event at a Utah school, and authorities are still searching for the killer. King first made headlines immediately after the Kirk shooting when he said, in quotes, the motivation of the man who shot Charlie Kirk isn't clear, although he's probably mentally unstable. Duh. What is clear is it was another example of American gun violence. But King didn't stop there. He later doubled down with a post on his social media that said of Kirk, in quotes, he advocated stoning gays to death. Just saying. That led to outrage from some in MAGA, including GOP lawmaker Mike Lee. He wrote on X, in quotes, please share if you agree that the estate of Charlie Kirk should sue Stephen King for defamation over his heinously false accusation. He crossed a line and it will prove costly. Lee then added. Conservative influencer Paul Zipula claimed that, in quotes, Stephen King is defaming the memory of Charlie Kirk. King wrongly claims that Kirk advocated for violence toward gay people. The clip King is referring to actually shows Kirk illustrating how some people cherry-pick passages from the Bible. Shame on King, he should apologize, the influencer wrote. In an unrelated post, King also targeted the killer of Kirk, writing simply, in quotes, Lee Harvey Oswald, James Earl Ray, and the murder of Charlie Kirk. Cowards who shot from ambush. Ted Cruz, who also weighed in, writing, in quotes, "You're a horrible, evil, twisted liar." No, he did not. Your party, which you shamelessly shill for, sent $100 billion to the Ayatollah, who does routinely murder homosexuals. Why are you so dishonest and filled with hate? Question mark. Kirk did indeed once say that it was God's perfect law to have homosexual men stoned to death. In a post on X, Laura Ingraham wrote, "Stephen King is a sad, bitter man." And Mike Lee added his, "Please share if you agree that the estate of Charlie Kirk should sue Stephen King for defamation over his heinously false accusation. He's crossed a line. It will prove costly." Actually, no, Mr. Lee, it won't prove costly. And the reason why it won't is because not only is libel or defamation extraordinarily difficult to prove, it also has a very high benchmark to prove it. And Stephen King did not say anything that was even remotely close to out of bounds, other than it ruffled your poor little Karen snowflake feelings. Any death that is done out of anger or hate is tragic. Anyone. Period. Full stop. But for you guys to try and act as if Charlie Kirk, the Trump administration, and many in it, especially people like Steve Bannon and more notably Stephen Miller, to think that somehow, as the old phrase goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words may not hurt you, but they certainly incite weak people who are angry at their own lives. We don't have the motivation as to why that particular individual shot Charlie Kirk, but you can sure guess it's based somewhat on the words that came out of Mr. Kirk's mouth and out of the Trump regime, not administration, regime. Count on it. You guys stay frosty.